What's up, ladies and gentlemen, back again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a movie review on Dr. Dolittle 2. Last week I did a movie review on the first film, so if you guys want to go ahead and watch that, you can. If not, you guys can stick around for this review as I go ahead and review part 2, starring Eddie Murphy. Of course, there's been other versions of this film, or other versions of the character himself. Of course, the original played by Rex Harrison in the 1960s, and then of course the 1998 remake, which I reviewed the previous week, and this is basically the continuation, which is the sequel. And of course they end up doing another remake later on with Robert Downey Jr. So we're going to go ahead and be taking a look at Dr. Dolittle 2. I'm going to go ahead and read the plot line, go over the casting, then we're going to go ahead and talk about the movie itself. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start reading. Let's get right to it. When Dr. Dolittle's vacation is interrupted by a group of desperate forest creatures whose wooden home is threatened by development, the good doctor is too ready to help. But the only solution to the crisis in Dolittle playing Cupid to a bubbling circus bear who must mate to save his species before it's too late. Can Dolittle teach this overgrown teddy the way of true romance in time to save his habitat? I'm a bit tongue-tied today. Alright, now this film, of course, stars Eddie Murphy as the lead. You got Kristen Wilson returning again as his wife. And we got Kevin Pollak, which I've seen in a few films. I think I've seen him in End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ironically enough, there are some, celebrity cameos, celebrity voice cameos like there was in the previous film. And one of them does include Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, so I thought that was kind of pretty neat. And of course, this movie is directed by Steve Carr. And of course, it's based off of the Dr. Dolittle stories by Hugh Lofting. Now, as a kid, I remember owning part 2 on VHS and watching it numerous times. It does have some memorable moments in there, which I still recall, because like I said, I had watched it numerous times as a kid, basically on repeat. Is it good as the previous one that I reviewed last week? It's entertaining, yes. Is it as good as the previous one? Not so much. Of course, the first film had, I guess, more funny moments, more memorable and quotable lines from the previous film, which makes it, of course, a classic in Eddie Murphy's filmography as far as his family comedies are concerned. Now, don't get me wrong, that like I said, part 2 it does have its moments, but it is not as good as the previous movie. But for me, it does hold some sentimental value because, like I said, I remember watching it numerous times because it was one of the Eddie Murphy movies I owned on VHS back in the day when this movie was first released in 2001. But if I'm going to give it an overall grade comparing both films, because like I said, the first film was a much bigger hit. Of course, it was, I believe from what I looked up online, it was #1 at the box office for a few weeks. Dr. Dolittle 2 did only a moderate success at the box office. So, it made some money back, but it wasn't as big as the first movie, if that makes any sense. But no, it does have its funny moments here and there. And like I said, it holds some sentimental value to me. But if I'm going to go ahead and, give this an honest grade, just like I did the previous film last week, I would have to give Dr. Dolittle 2 a solid C. It's fun, it's entertaining. Is it as good as the first movie? Not so much. Do I recommend it for you guys to watch? Well, if you're gonna have like a movie night, you could go ahead and just go ahead and watch these two movies back to back, and sit back and enjoy yourself, with your family and friends. But yeah, that's as far as my recommendation goes. Of course, there's a bunch of other Eddie Murphy movies in this filmography that I have still yet to watch and review or rewatch and review. So I'll probably might do that somewhere down the line. But until then, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's review on Dr. Dolittle 2. And like I said, if you want to check out my previous review of the last film, you can check out on the channel. And if you want to see more content like this, such as my movie and TV show reviews, my DVD Blu-ray hauls, my fun and adventurous YouTube vlogs, as well as other numerous content, then make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys around for the next video. Have a great day now. Peace.